In a nutshell, a thought, it's really an idea or an opinion that's produced by thinking, or sometimes it just occurs suddenly in the mind. Now, most of us will worship our thoughts, and we take what our thoughts say at face value and we take them very seriously. Whatever our thoughts say, we give them our complete trust, and we take them as the absolute truth. And as a result, the most painful emotions, they arise when we believe in our own negative thoughts. Thoughts like, I'm overweight, I should be more fit, I'm a fraud, I really messed that up, I'll never get it right, they're ignoring me, I'm so unlucky, unfortunate, they think I'm stupid, this is too hard, I should give up, this is going to be a terrible day. Or the worst one is when people say things like, I am stupid. And when I say they say things like that, what I mean is that those are the thoughts that are occurring in your head. It goes on and on. But the problem here is we did not learn early enough that we are not our thoughts. We are not our thoughts. So what are we? We are the observers of our thoughts. We are the ones who are in control of our thoughts. Now, controlling our own thoughts, it's our responsibility. This is important because most of us do not control the thoughts that pop into our minds all day and every day. Instead, what usually happens is that most of us are influenced and manipulated by our thoughts. And when reaching this state, thoughts become repetitive and we start overthinking. And people who overthink consistently run commentaries in their heads, criticizing themselves, picking apart what they said and what they did yesterday, 12 hours ago, 5 minutes ago, terrified that they look bad, and fretting about some kind of terrible future that might await them. The opposite of being the victim of your thoughts is being the controller of your thoughts. And that starts by being an observer of your thoughts. Now, when you observe your thoughts, you are actually witnessing them, watching them come and go. You stop feeling identified with your thoughts. And what happens is you begin to break the pattern. Ultimately, you start changing your life in any way that you want. Observe your thoughts. Do not always believe them. But what does it actually mean to be the observer of your thoughts? And what I want to do is I want to do a very, very simple exercise. I want you to clear your head for a moment. And what I want you to do is I want you to allow the next objects to appear in your mind, and then I want you to let them go. So I want you to envision a black car. Now empty that thought and think of a small pond with gentle ripples. Now empty that thought and think of a green circle. Now empty that thought and bring your attention back here. The lesson to take here is that the observer of the car, the observer of the pond with the gentle ripples, and the observer of the green circles, that is the same observer that's watching all of the thoughts that are coming into your head all day, every day. You are the observer of these thoughts. And more importantly, you are the controller of these thoughts. Now, this is the most important part. The same way that you can control the car, the pond, and the circle from coming into your mind and out of your mind, you can control any and all thoughts that enter your mind. You are not the car. You are not the pond with the gentle ripples. You are not the circle. The same way that you are not all of the thoughts that come into your head. And you are especially not the negative thoughts that pop into your mind. Or worse, you are not the negative thoughts that were planted in your mind by somebody else. This means that you are not the prisoner of your thoughts. You can stop your thoughts. You can stop yourself, and you can become whoever you want. You can invent yourself. You are who you pretend to be. So be careful who you pretend to be. You are not your thoughts, yet they can control you if you let them. Let me say that again. Your thoughts can control you, but only if you let them. So, how do you stop your thoughts from controlling you? The thing is most of us are not consciously observing our thoughts because we feel that we are our thoughts. And so most of the time, you're not even aware of the thoughts that you're thinking. The same way that you are not consciously aware that you are breathing right now. When your mind is racing, especially, you do not separate the thoughts that's running through your mind with your identity, because you assume that the thoughts in your head, they are your identity. You just assume that they are the same. So these are some very simple and very practical ways to start noticing your thoughts. I like to just say to myself out loud that this is just a thought. Or what I will do is I will change from one thought. If something is bothering me, I change from one thought to the other by simply saying, next. Sometimes I just start to pay attention to my breathing for a little while. Other times I'll ask myself, what is the opposite of this thought? For instance, if I feel as if I am going to do poorly in an assignment or a teaching gig or something like that, I say, what is the opposite of that thought? Or what I really like to do is I imagine that I have a feather in my hand. And I literally will visualize myself with a feather in my hand, and I'll reach out and I'll touch every negative thought, and as I touch that thought disappears. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll imagine that I'm placing that thought on a leaf that floats down a river. Or I can even imagine myself sitting beside the river watching that thought float away. But I remember that I am in control of my thoughts. And the purpose of these exercises is to shift from looking from the point of view of your thoughts to looking at your thoughts. To shift from viewing the world through the prism of your thoughts and realizing that you are the controller of your thoughts and you have the power to choose the thoughts that suit you better. This is how you define yourself. There is no end to this, and you will find yourself to be limitless with this practice. Do not think you have to accomplish something with this. This is just a process. This is a part of self-improvement. And as with everything, practice is the key. Soon enough, when you finally are able to change the tape that's playing in your head, you'll see yourself getting unstuck from your narrative or your story. So why is this so important? Because whatever your story says, know that your story is influenced by your expectations. It is creating your perception about your place in the world, your assumptions about what life is, your belief about who you are, your feelings, your moods, your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. Just like you are not the green circle. You can move from the victim to the creator of your story right now.